Talking politics with our political panelists. They are Mark Harris, who's a managing partner of the Crump law firm, and Timothy Allen Simon, who is chairman of the California African American Chamber of Commerce. Welcome back, gentlemen, to The World Tonight. Let's talk infrastructure and what lies ahead for President Biden's very ambitious legislation. Timothy, we'll start with you because you've worked on some of these issues in California. The president announced a two-track approach to getting this legislation passed, and then he rephrased the description. How have things shaken out now, in your opinion, on this fine Monday?
I think things have shaken out in the direction of President Biden's intentions. He's having to work across the aisle. This was really his claim to fame as a United States senator. He was known as a bipartisan senator. In fact, that was the conflict that he had with Vice President Harris in one of the initial debates during the campaign. I believe he realizes by segmenting legislation, he has a better chance of getting support, not only from across the aisle, but even the Democrats that may have issues like a Joe Manchin because of the realities of their relationship with their voters. So I think the strategy has merit. It may not be viewed as in the best interest of, I think, what African Americans want, and that's an emphasis on voting rights, an emphasis on the Family Act, an emphasis on areas that are critically important to our community. But at the same time, I believe he has a plan. Man doesn't plan to fail, man fails to plan. I believe the president has a plan, and he may not get all that he wants, but I think he'll walk away with something substantial.
And Mark, if the president has a plan, and that plan means all paths are available to him, is it possible he didn't make an unforced effort? Could it be that he was trying to let the progressive wing of the party know that he is still committed to the idea of human infrastructure?
You know, it's a great question. First, it's good to be back with you. I'm in that wing of the party. Full disclosure, I'm in the so-called progressive wing of the party. And I've been disappointed by certain aspects of this administration. As my dear colleague Timothy Simon just pointed out, one of the things that wasn't mentioned is the George Floyd bill, which still is working its way through Congress, seems to be dead on arrival now relative to bringing social justice to many, many Americans throughout this great country. So that hasn't happened the way I'd like to see it. But specifically on infrastructure, as a former public finance investment banker, I headed up a national infrastructure finance group. And we used to have to determine what were the sources and uses of the money. And Timothy and I have debated ad nauseum the uses side of this. This bill was 3 times as large when President Biden first put it forward. I'm glad to see it more focused. I'm glad to see it more centered on true infrastructure, but I'd be even happier if African Americans within the business community could have a specific role, particularly in those projects that affect our community first and foremost.
Well, that's the question, right, Mark, that any of the big government contracts that come out of this, how do we make sure that actually helps elevate our communities in terms of where the projects are done, but also in who gets the financing on those? But you mentioned something interesting about other bills that are under consideration and are supposed to be priorities. So real quick, Mark, you and then Timothy, voting rights is still a big piece of legislation that's important to Black and brown communities, but we don't see that same energy to explore reconciliation, nuclear options in the filibuster that we do around infrastructure. So Mark, real quick, you first, is that a good political calculus for a president who needs Black and brown voters?
In a word, no. I think what you pointed out is brilliant. I think you're right on point. The fact that we don't see these nuclear options considered relative to voting rights is quite honestly because the majority, Caucasians, the voting majority doesn't have a vested interest in that as it does in infrastructure. There are going to be a lot of trillionaires made behind this infrastructure bill. There are going to be people making a whole bunch of money, and I hope some of them turn out to be Black, brown, people of color. Unfortunately, I'm not sure that's going to be the case.
And Timothy, before we wrap, your take on that, especially considering that voting rights is key and infrastructure is being used as a tool for maintaining the majority in 2022. Is that politically makes sense?
It does politically make sense. Remember, the infrastructure bill is also an economic stimulus, a stimulus that will hopefully impact all communities. On the federal side, we still have the Minority Business Enterprise Act and affirmative action, and there are the mechanisms there, if enforced, to make certain that African Americans are at the table on the financing and the construction of infrastructure. I believe the president is working where he has agreement and will get to those areas where he does not. I think critical to this time that we're in COVID is putting money into the economy and, yes, dealing with our decrepit infrastructure in this country, which we're reminded upon day in and day out. I think the challenge is going to be on the progressive side is their abilities to insert climate into the infrastructure dialogue as opposed to more traditional brick and mortar infrastructure. And I believe that can be worked out in time as well.
Well, we hope it does get worked out because we do need something before our cities collapse into the sea. Thanks, Timothy Allen Simon and Mark Harris, for joining us on our panel for the World Tonight.
Thank you, Nair.
Thank you.